And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show, and this is going to be episode 29. And for those of you guys who like watching this show with me and Professor Savage Dad on Sundays, what I'm going to end up doing, starting with this episode officially, is that when any comic book news drops that we can obviously talk about together, I'm going to use those segments and then clip them out and then upload those segments to my comic book channel. And if you want to, go subscribe to my comic book channel, that's just basically my name, comics and manga. And that channel is 9 subscribers away from hitting 100 subscribers, which is just my only goal for it right now. Currently, I just uploaded another episode of Comic Book Haul there, and I'll be uploading our Deadpool and Wolverine comic book reviews, the Dean Cain one, and then there was one video we did where we tried reading the CBR article to include female heroes, and it was so bad. I think we just both rage quit. We were like, it was so bad. They were basically trying to say, well, female heroes can impact sales, and none of their data reflected any of that.
Oh, dude, any CBR article, man. I haven't read their shit in a decade. Like, just going to CBR makes me want to rage quit my computer. Like, if I accidentally click on a CBR link, I would restart my machine. I wouldn't even try to just close the window.
Yeah. I honestly just prefer Screen Rant. Honestly, I think they're a little bit more better. And CBR is just bullshit half the time. They don't even know what the fuck they're talking about.
Oh, dude, that site is trash. It's been trash for so long.
Yeah, I will give Screen Rant this. They do some good ones every now and again. It's mostly just their gaming stuff I don't listen to when they're like, Black Wukong doesn't have enough representation. And it's like, what are you talking about? A game about a freaking monkey, Holy crap. So later on in the show, we're going to be talking about some comic book news that ended up happening. And there's been more news, obviously, that has popped up. So I do want to obviously put a more consistent effort at putting out comic book news content like I used to do with my Yu-Gi-Oh! News content on my original bigger YouTube channel that I don't have anymore, where news would drop and then I would automatically talk about it. You guys saw me do this with DC All In, and I should still be able to do similar videos like that for DC All In. There was some news about it because it did just recently start. I got the DC All In special #1. I did purchase Absolute Batman. That might be the other segment we have tonight.
Either.
Where they said it sold out. That's probably another thing to talk about this week as well. So let me put these down in the private chat so we can go over them. So let's put, Jim Lee, Batman, Daredevil, not Daredevil. Oh my god, did I put Daredevil? Oh my god, I put Daredevil.
Daredevil 1.
Nope, it's Deadpool. Cares. Oh my god, no, Deadpool and Wolverine, and then we'll do Absolute Batman. So guys, I do plan on reviewing and reading Absolute Batman. I do. I just haven't got my comic book pull list package in yet, actually. So let me update the title, everyone. Sorry about that. It's supposed to be Deadpool, not fucking Daredevil, because there would never be a Daredevil Wolverine series. That would just be retarded, honestly. Oh my goodness. Marvel's not that bad. Oh, and apparently...
Yes, they are.
Oh, yeah. That's actually true. Apparently, that omnibus that they were going to do for DC versus Marvel for their what do they call it? It starts with an A. The amalgam,
all access, the whole thing. Yeah.
Apparently, that got delayed until Christmas time, and I told people it was going to get delayed. People were like, "Why do you think it's going to get delayed?" Because it's DC Marvel, guys. Because basically it's both of their stories in one omnibus. They have to basically figure out who gets most of the profits. And they also have to figure out, okay, well, who gets a bigger percentage based off of like sales and distribution and all that bullshit. Oh, that was gonna get delayed for sure. It was supposed to get released this week, actually, or last week. It got delayed until later on this year in December around Christmas time. Now, maybe they're only delaying it till Christmas time because they figure they'll get a bigger boom in sales for it being a Christmas time. But I don't even, I've never known this. Do holiday seasons affect comic book sales at all? Honestly, I've never heard it at all affecting comic sales. Wolverine Deep Cut, I know is getting delayed. Not Wolverine Deep Cut. Wolverine Revenge, which is written by Jonathan Hickman. That the 3rd issue is apparently getting delayed until December or November, and then the final 4th issue is not going to come out until February 25th of next year, actually. Chip Zdarsky's Batman stuff, based off the news we're going to talk about in a moment here, is getting delayed because they're going to get some of that prepared, which we'll talk about in just a moment here. There's a lot of shuffling around with things right now. Interesting. Maybe they want to make money. Probably not. That's me being optimistic.
No, I think it probably just has more to do with the fact that somebody like Jonathan Hickman is probably getting overworked because he's the only competent mainstream writer currently. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just keep him on Ultimate Spider-Man. But I know you can't fucking make money doing that. I get it. You can't stay on one book, but then you get overworked. And
because I don't know if he's still doing Gods, but he's doing Ultimate Spider-Man. He's doing Wolverine Revenge. He's doing Aliens versus Avengers. Like, you gotta kind of and you guys kind of keep in mind, Alien versus Avengers also got delayed. That one's not coming out until November. Okay.
Yeah,
that review that I did, that book was supposed to drop in July. It dropped in August, actually. You know, a lot of delays going on right now, and maybe it's because of printing. Maybe it's because of certain creative decisions they want to make that are going to shuffle things around. Well, we know that's happening for DC for sure. DC is for sure getting a lot of creative shuffles. So basically, for DC All In, for Dawn of DC, all the creative teams on most of the premier titles. So people, what's a premier title? Superman, Batman, Titans, Wonder Woman, all that stuff. Well, except Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is continuing with Tom King, but for the most part, creative teams are getting shuffled around.
Gross.
So Ram V was, I forgot the artist he had on with him, but Ram V is the writer of Detective Comics. Now that's getting shuffled around with Tom Taylor. Mark Waid is going to do weekly action comics of Superman weekly, and the artist they picked is sorry guys, I bought it because it's a fresh new start for Detective Comics and Action Comics, but the artist on the Action Comics is so bad. I want to show you, it's horrible. Look at this.
Yeah, I want to see it, dude. Which book was the one that was supposed to be Superman's son? Which was the Jonathan Kent book?
That's usually a John Kent book. I don't buy any John Kent books. I hear they're so
okay.
bad.
So they don't. I thought they gave him like one of the Superman titles, like Action or
he does.
Superman,
he has his own ongoing series. They usually always get rebooted because no one buys that shit.
It'll never be as good as what Super Sons was, unfortunately. And Mark Waid with a bad artist, oof, bro. He's had one gem his whole career that he pulled off, and still with a competent artist in Justice League. And I still want to believe that is his story, but that wasn't it Mark Waid that did the Irredeemable books for IDW back in the day?
So the things I know he's done. He's did Doctor Strange, Fantastic Four, Daredevil, Justice League, Kingdom Come. He's did Shazam, and he's now currently going to be doing Superman. And he's sucked off the industry so hard to get back where he was because he was thrown out because he's actually mentally deranged. And he said basically we'd rather burn the industry now than get together with the alt-right. And magically he got weekly Action Comics. He got to be he's going to be writing Justice League Unlimited, because we haven't had a Justice League ongoing series since DC Rebirth after Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. The entirety of Dawn of DC did not have a Justice League book, which is the biggest superhero team in all of comic books. There's no Justice League because they tried to replace the Justice League with the Titans. Yeah. And I like the Titans. I love me some Titans, but come on.
Yeah, but it's not the Justice League at all. Yeah. But what did Dawn of DC actually do for the universe?
Transition you into All In.
That's it. That's all it was.
That's all I look at it.
So basically, all it did was launch.
You could argue launch all in.
I was just hoping that maybe they brought back some more of old continuity. I still don't even know where the fuck DC's continuity is.
Oh, here's what they're doing with Mark Waid recently. I'll show you right now. They're gonna do this, like, because they're gonna be doing this retread of like Batman and Robin's origin as the dynamic duo. Batman and Robin Year One, Number One. Really?
Of course, that's what they'd fucking call it.
Here's the synopsis.
Fringe.
While reuniting the acclaimed team of Mark Waid and Chris Samney, while Bruce Wayne adjusts to the realities of adopting orphan Dick Grayson, a mysterious new crime boss called the General has come to Gotham to claim the city by disrupting and destroying its other mobs. But what is his connection to Two-Face? Batman and his new sidekick Robin are out for answers. But it'll take everything they have to navigate both sides of the relationship as father and son and dynamic duo. With Dick Grayson's present and future hanging in the balance. Why do I need to have DC? Why do I need to have this? How many ongoing Batman series is this? So someone actually tallied it. There's legit around 29 Batman ongoing series, not just ongoing series, specials, one-offs.
Samney is the I think that's the artist that Mark Waid had with him on Daredevil's run. I read some of that run at the time. I was never influenced by the art. The story was mediocre. It was all right. But the art never impressed me. So I didn't keep up with the book because there was no, the story was mediocre.
Yeah.
It was, some people really liked it. It was Mark Waid shit. In all honesty, it could have been a completely separate character. It could have been Spider-Man. It could have been Captain America. It's just Marty shit.
You know what I've noticed with him?
Art was.
It seems like he writes better for DC than Marvel. It's like, I think he just has an inherent bias towards DC.
Maybe
more than Marvel.
I don't. I've never.
His best stuff comes from DC though.
DC.
His best stuff from Kingdom Come and Tower of Babel. That's his best DC stuff.
That's true, I guess.
He recently got recent praise with World's Finest and Shazam too. Recently with those two.
Yeah, was it him on those? Hold on.
The new World's Finest and Shazam runs, he got a bunch of people saying he was actually back in form. But keep in mind, I don't really know what Mark Waid's form is supposed to be.
A butthole. That was Jeff Loeb on Public Enemies for the Batman Superman.
Yeah, that was Jeff Loeb. Yeah.
Yeah, that was not Mark Waid, so that wasn't even him. So I was going to give him credit. Almost.
No, he has the newest.
Jeff Loeb was actually good.
Yeah, Mark Waid has the newest World's Finest stuff that he's done. Give me 1 second, everyone. So here, another black man, another Batman thing. Actually, here's another Batman thing because you guys can't get enough of Batman, right? It's the only thing Warner Brothers can sell to you is Batman. Batman Full Moon issue #1. Now this is the Black Label title, so the cover art does look good. I don't know who did the cover art, but that looks great, honestly.
Yeah, I was looking at those today at the comic shop by me, and the Black Label stuff, not only is it covers were interesting, but they're in they're in more of a European format. They're in this like bande dessinée format like this. Like I don't know if they were quite this big. They weren't quite Ghosts of the Badlands big.
Like that. Yep. It's like that.
I'm not opening this from its plastic. I've just learned, well, not just, but this week it was kind of announced that basically George Alexopoulos cannot. Huh? Oh, I thought you said something. Basically, George Alexopoulos said that it isn't financially feasible for him to be able to do something quite so big like this. Like it took a lot out of him. So as for now, this is it, and this is still sealed, so it's gonna be that way. I did open the hardcover color one, and it's so fantastic. Like I can understand because you can tell that was a work of art. Like all the shit in this was a work of art, but I like this format. It might be more. Actually, I think they were more this side, like this, like the Dracula.
Okay,
slightly bigger.
There was a DC Black Label series called Batman First Night. The comics didn't come out the same standard way. It was in the magazine format where they're wider and they're a lot bigger. I didn't
They look good.
Mind it. Yeah, they look great. It's just it's hard to put those in your collection because they're not like the usual standards. It's you want to make sure they're good.
No, dude, those are gonna live on a bookshelf like this. The standard here of like Judge Dredd, which I saw my shop has these. These are just how I thought this was a trade. It's not. Oh, this is just how they drop them.
They're chopping up sometimes, just a little bit.
It's because I'm not on top of the mic. I'm moving here.
Oh, it's fine. In the chat.
There we go.
Hi,
back
Emily.
on top of the
How
mic.
Are you doing? On top of the mic, like my wife. Hey, why did you keep this white man?
Some guy named Mike.
WZ, you want to crack again? Why did you keep this white man, but you fired Darnell? What? How did I fire Darnell? He's gonna be here tomorrow. You cracking me?
Bruh.
Hobo, what's up, man? Hi, Emma. And that's it. That's it here. Okay. Oh, it's 9:32 there. Well, I mean, Sabbath is also in Arizona too. It's crazy. You guys both live in the same state. Interesting. So I'm gonna add this to my pull list. I'll check it out. I mean, it's a non-canon. Black Label stuff is usually pretty good. I usually like a lot.
What's the rating? Like, or not? What are the reviews? Like, I didn't realize Black Label had become quite as prolific as it had, but there seems to be a lot of stuff in a big format, and I'm like, okay, so are these interesting, or am I getting more of kind of the same kind of themes and bullshit that I'm already getting from the main line, or not already getting, but don't want from the main line, and thusly why I avoid them? Or is it something good? So I don't know. I might be willing to try one out. I'll have to look and see.
Hobo says, I live in the homeless shelter somewhere on Earth. Wednesday bottom G's with Darnell. No, we don't have a bottom G show anymore because it's just no days of the week shows. It's just the MSK show. That's the only show you'll need. No? Oh, I tried, everybody. All right, what's coming out this week that I'm going to be getting? So you guys will see everything on my pull list this week. So the reason why you guys haven't seen me basically review like Detective Comics or Action Comics is because it's hard to really pinpoint when they start new arcs. So unless I start it on a fresh, brand new arc, and these you can't really do in order. So the only way to review the older stuff is basically if I just review the things that they already have in trades, as in volumes and hardcovers and omnibuses. That's fine. So I'll just obviously start it from a brand new arc. So I have Action Comics issue 1071. I have Uncanny X-Men. Okay, so people say, why did you take Ultimate Spider-Man off your pull list? Because I'm just getting this in volumes. There's no reason to have this on my pull list when I'm just getting it in volumes. It's just a waste of money at that point. But I like the series. I bought issue 1. I vouch for issue 1.
That's the other thing too, dude. Like, are you going to be doing? How do you want to do your things? Because if you're doing a floppy, then what are you? Like, that's so quick. That's just not enough story to build a lot of content around of. Like, that was literally when we were doing the floppies of Deadpool and Wolverine. That was like, we stretched that quite a bit.
But that wasn't intentional, though.
We were
there
having
was
a live
enough
conversation.
That needed to be. Well, to be fair, we weren't really doing that intentionally because those stories needed to be talked out. Those were lackluster as fuck.
Well, not just that, but it was because the two of us were having a conversation. If you were trying to do a review solo by yourself,
that would last like 6 minutes.
Yeah, it wouldn't be nearly as much, dude. When you've got somebody else in there and you're doing it live, you're stretching more content. When if you're just doing a single floppy, you're gonna, jump right through all of those points that you have from your notes when you read it, and then you're gonna be done. So yeah, I think it makes a lot more sense to review a story arc, which you're gonna get in a trade. So, and it's more financially viable to just pick up the trades. These days, the floppies are so expensive and they sell out. So you could straight up miss a piece of Ultimate Spider-Man. When I went to the store today, because comic shops stock so little new books, that shit will sell out. Like they're really cutting
even
back.
Just the second printing of this book, right here, Avengers versus Aliens #1, the second printing is $7.99. Yeah, guys, Avengers versus Alien, they're charging you $7.99 for that.
Fucking nuts, dude.
44 pages. Yeah, and keep in mind, there's ads here. So whenever there's a 44-page book, ads, there's going to be like 40 pages stories. So you're not even getting the full 44-page bang for your buck at $7.99. Yeah,
you really got to understand what it means when you have a page count and you're looking for that quality the whole way through. Like, you really want to see the good shit. You don't want just crap ads that just suck. I mean, you want really hardcore good art because you're paying good money for it. Like, you want like this is so engaging.
Look at that.
This is
That's
exactly
engaging.
what you're looking for. Oh my god, like, seriously, this isn't even an ad. This is art, yo.
What I'll even say on League of Comics Geeks, the reason why I tell people to use this website, they'll even tell you how many ads you get in the book because it'll tell you 41 pages of story right here. You're getting 41 pages of story for a $7.99 book. And then this is why I hate DC. His DC did it again, people. Guess what they did to me? They're like, MSK, what did DC do to you? Where did DC touch you? Oh, they touched me everywhere.
In the wallet.
And I'll show you guys. Well, beside that,
See,
I'm going to show you guys right now. Give me one moment.
You got to be really targeted on, see this, what's quality about indie creators? They don't fuck around with the ads, okay? You get $35 for this. And then, not, dude, the next page, so much, wow. Guys, the art, the engagement, no ads. No ads here. No ads for the guy's wife. Just, bro. So much engagement here. Oh, wait, bro. Just it keeps getting more intense. Right here, you got 2 whole panels of art. My God, you got to understand that was quality, people. That is so quality that I've been trying to sell it for $40 cheaper than the current Indiegogo has it listed for a month and a half now, and nobody will touch it on eBay. That's how quality it is. Like, I'm going to set a record with that book. I'm literally just leaving it up and renewing it. I want it to show how many months that it's been trying to be sold. I'm going to post that eventually when we get to the end of the year.
Sorry about that. I want to show you guys why I hate this company sometimes. Do you know, we talked about this actually, I might make a full video about this at some point, but this is so stupid. Okay, so let me go back really quickly here. Okay, so earlier this year, DC is reprinting the Batman DC Rebirth run by Tom King, and they're not even doing it in a different way or different format, okay? They are doing it basically by calling it the 2024 edition. Guys, there's nothing different about them. Nothing. You can go on Amazon right now. If you really want to buy the first 3 books, go on Amazon right now. You could buy all of them. I did for like less than $8. If you have Prime, less than $8. Get you all 3. To be fair, 3 volumes. Dude, you can decide whether or not Tom King is a good writer for you at all. It's all subjective, who you like. But at $8, you're getting 3 trays instead of getting the 2024 edition. Why?
Yes, by all means. Pay full price for this medium.
Why are we reprinting? That's the thing. Why are we reprinting the same shit that's out there? This is nothing.
No clue. No clue, bro.
That makes no sense. What a waste of run. There's so many other better things they can reprint. Are you telling me there's nothing better to reprint for DC than Tom King's 2016 Batman run? That they're not doing all at once. They're doing it every 3 months. Then for the other Batman series they have ongoing right now, the Batman, the Brave, and the Bold, they had one trade, the winning card, come out this year, and the next trade's coming out next year. But they'll find time to put out the 3 other ones. It's just fucking stupid. And then in the new Batman, the Brave and the Bold trade paperback, it doesn't even go issue by issue. It goes issue 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Why?
Why is it just not in order? Oh, because it covers the first story arc. I don't care if it covers anything. Why is it not in order?
Wait, 1, 2, 5, and 9 is the first story arc?
5, and 8. It's the Joker arc. It's basically a retelling of Batman and Joker's first encounter.
What happened to 3 and 4?
It's going to be in the next volume to cover the other arc. You know how stupid that sounds? It's stupid. I'll show you right now. I'll prove it to you right now. I'm not kidding.
No, I'm sure. I'm just confused. It's like, why in the hell would 2 and 4?
I was confused too. Here, I'll show you right now. I'll
be
prove it to you
different
right
now. Arcs. What the fuck?
Here, I'll show you right now.
They printed them out of order, dude. That's what they did.
I think they're just fucking with us. I think they're just fucking with me. Okay, so Batman, the Brave, and the Bold. This is the big seller for DC back in 2023 when Dawn of DC kicked off. The first 3 issues are there are some issues with Tom King. He's not the main writer on this series, though. It mostly different people. It's mostly 2 different people later on. He's only on for first 3. This is the winning card, right? Covers issues 1, 2, 5, and 9. This is the problem why people don't get into comics. If you just say randomly, if you saw this at a comic shop, you're like, I like this. I hope this goes in order like a manga because it says volume 1. Why is this not in order?
So what's up with 3, 4, 7, and 8 then?
It's going to be in the next trade, apparently.
But why was it numbered that way?
Oh, they released it. You're right. Oh,
1 through 3 and 6 through 9.
it's
So volume 2 is actually
such a ripoff.
every and
Oh, my
then
heart
4 and
it hurts so
5.
bad.
Why is the numbering so fucked up?
Don't get it. Get me off this planet. I don't want to be on this planet anymore. Guys, this is why this company's ripping you off. Let me just put it blatantly right in front of you. Okay, volume Batman, The Brave and the Bold, volume 1, The Winning Card, trade paperback. Okay, covers issues 1, 2, 5, and 9. The Joker. Okay, stupid,
Are
really
there
bad.
multiple
Can't defend it.
stories in one book? Like, is it an
But then you
anthology
get
inside
volume
the
2.
book?
And keep in mind, they for the solicitations for this book, they just put out the numbering for it because no one. I thought it was going to be like you said, 3, 4, 5, and whatever. Right? They're reprinting 2 of the first issues from volume 1. It covers 1 through 3. That's 2 of the issues from the first book. Why not just do it all in order?
When you're picking up the floppies of this book,
Yes.
is it multiple stories in the floppy? Is it like a
No, it's a different arc each time technically, but that stretches out. Like, so if Batman faces Joker in volume 1, he'll do it in issue 1, 2, but he won't face him in 3 and 4. You know, like in a TV series, you face the villain for the first 2 episodes and then he'll come back later on to fight. Maybe that's the reason why they're doing that. But this is
I don't know.
stupid.
I'd have to see.
But my problem is, if this is going to be a trade, why are they reprinting issues 1 and 2 in this one? This one should be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 because it covers 6 through 9. And this is guys, they're reprinting 3 of the same issues in volume 2. This isn't even worth it. This is
Why would
so
you pay
dumb.
for this?
Unless you're just straight up retarded, you'd pay for this.
I don't know why anybody would read this. It seems like everything's fucked up in the numbering and the story isn't continuing.
The only way to get it numbered properly is if you just buy the individual issues from scratch. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
and you're already at 18 on those, and these are
is the story progressing properly? Like, that's what I don't understand.
I will check it out and I will tell you, because I you know what I did, because I hated the way the trades were numbered. I actually went and rebought all of them from scratch. I bought issue 7 a while ago. I don't know why. I think I just like the cover art. So I went and rebought issues 1 through 6, and then I bought everything up to its current run. And these are premium books. You know, I told you Aliens vs. Adventures is $7.99. Guess what these are? These are $7.99 for 6.
How many?
These
pages?
range about 56 to 64, give or take.
Normal comic book size format or more of a magazine size?
I'll show you right now. I have it in here. Let me show you. Give me one sec. I have it right here. I have my butthole right here.
Is that T-box your bed?
I don't think so. Where's my book? Hold on. Was it in the bottom? Wait, hold on. I'm hearing demons again. Hold on, show.
Your neighbors are talking again?
I found it. Well, sorry. I knew where I had it. This is what it is. So let me take it out. Pretty sure that's what my wife said too. I hate the way they numbered this book. It's honestly, it's so fucking stupid. Actually, I've never taken this out of the floppy. I'm not floppy. I'm sorry, I can't talk, guys. I'm sorry. I've never taken this out of the freaking bag and board. They actually boarded this pretty good, honestly. Oh my god, let me get in there and scramble that ass the way you like it, daddy. All right, I'm hearing demons again. Okay, so here is the book right here. Godly. That's how bad, that's how stupidly packaged this book was. It was a bag in a bag and board in a bag.
Oh, woo! God.
Double bagged and boarded. Thank God you protected my book, random eBay seller. Okay, this is what it looks like. And hold on, God damn, it's the book. There you go. That's what it would be.
Okay, so
about mini trade paperback size.
Yeah,
like a mini trade. I mean, for $7.99,
like that back in the day.
Yeah, for $7.99, that seems worth it for the price point. But it's like, is that story worth it? Don't worry, guys. I'll find it out and I'll tell you guys if it's worth it.
It's kind of like this. These used to be the specials they did like that.
The annual?
No, this was like a special story. Christopher Priest and Jason Johnson. It was Impulse Saves the Universe. One of the Mark Waid was actually involved with Impulse. Like this was, I believe he wrote Impulse for a while. That may be another one. That one, I'm trying to remember if I'm misremembering if it was Wade. Mark Waid was involved with the Flash, I think, at some point.
He was.
But
He had a Flash
yeah,
for a long time.
yeah. So that might have been one of his only runs that I ever actually think I enjoyed. But like, see, that's how thick it was. Like this.
Yeah, like if you're gonna charge $8.99 for that or $7.99, I think that's fine for the price point. It's
Bro,
a
guess how much I paid
book.
for this back in the day?
Probably like $2.
$5.95, bro. That's what these prestige little
editions.
One-shot stories were like. They did interesting ones, and he says this one was a good one. It was fun. Plenty of things like that on my shelf here somewhere. But yeah, the beginning of Young Justice was this one right here. That was one of those ones, A World Without Grown-Ups. Lots of good, interesting art there. Yeah.
A World Without Homos.
Oh, what would we do without you, MSK? I don't know.
Back. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna.
I would be.
Up. Oh, the Rob Liefeld thing. I know. Did you ever read Youngblood when Image Comics first became a thing?
Oh, I probably got an issue of it, but the books never came out consistently. Nobody could ever get into it. Like, I think there was one initial run he did with Image when he left with the rest of them was the longest run, but that book was so consistently plagued with what was nearly the downfall of Image and the lack of actual books put out. I mean, at the end of the day, it was the downfall of what Image was supposed to be because none of them could get along, Rob Liefeld included. But all of these artists were shit at keeping their own time. They couldn't. They were so bad at it that the whole experiment nearly failed. If it wasn't for the popularity of Spawn and what McFarlane managed to pull off with that, the whole company would have probably gone under. I mean, it was a disaster. None of them knew how to put stuff out in a reasonable amount of time. And I know that Jim Lee was supposed to be part of that whole thing, and that didn't work out. And then you had like J. Scott Campbell, like some guys who came in later even.
Oh,
trying
speaking
to
of
do stuff.
Jim Lee, we got something to say about Jim Lee in a moment here. Jim Lee's got some big
I'm sure
news.
He's still a great artist. That's all he ever was, though. A great artist.
Yeah,
Period.
He hit it. And to be fair, people say, "Oh, he's only did Batman Hush," guys. If that's the only thing you think he did, okay, stop being stupid. Okay, don't do that. Let's not. Everyone always does that. They always try to retcon history. He did way more than Batman Hush. Actually, the only thing he's not good at is writing. I will say that.
He did a series called Divine Right. This was kind of him coming over to Image and trying to launch a thing that was supposed to really tie together a lot of the stuff that was kind of keeping Image going, like J. Scott Campbell and Gen 13. That was the next biggest thing they had. That book kind of saved the image of Image because it came out, it was super popular. People were buying it up and they were looking at other Image things, but it was one of the few books that stayed popular. It died when it went to Wildstorm because I don't know if J. Scott Campbell gave up the rights to it or what happened. Who all was on that? It was, now I'm trying to remember. Creators. I mean, it was basically their version of Generation X. Oh, wow. So it was Brandon Choi, Jim Lee, and J. Scott Campbell. So J. Scott Campbell must have let Jim Lee just wander off with it. I know who wrote it, though. Who wrote the book? Like, they took it to Wildstorm, and it went to hell. And they've tried multiple times to jump it. Oh, my God. What is this? Gail Simone tried to write a relaunch of it? Wildstorm.
On my wife? On my wifey?
It looks like I don't know what that is, but.
All right, I'm going to set up for the video right now. The image is already here, and we're going to get to good go. Your mic good? You sound.
I don't have a guy named Mike. You have a guy named Mike? It only does that when I go like this. Then if I go like this, I'm back and front of it and I'm on top of it.
A guy
There
named
it
Hype.
is.
All
A
right.
guy named what now? I could sound like this though. I could do this guy right here like all night, bro. We can just do this.
If you sounded like that, I'm gonna have to off myself.
You'll do the what now? And you'll put it where?
In my hairy butt.
God.
I
think we all know that's exactly where it would go.
I asked this girl, she had a hairy ass. She was like, "Are you retarded?" I was like, probably.
Why would you ask the girls who went to
you're roboting
with that? I know this is a wild one. I am here to take over your planet.
Holy crap.
Pretty wild, right? I like that one.
Hi, John.
Been making some enhancements. John.
Hi, John. John's long box. How you doing, man? You know, there was
John is in here. What's up, John?
You know, one show, he had John De La Rose and John's long box was on a show, and I typed in the chat, "Hi, John. Hi, John." 2 Johns on the same show. And then one time John De La Rose had John A. Douglas on there. I was like, "Hi, John. Hi, John." Why do you guys all have the same names? What happened? What happened in the world, actually? All right, so let's start this off. So before you guys know, I am going to be black, but I'm actually secretly white. I'm transracial. I'm just kidding. Okay.
I am here to tell you that this is not the truth.
Lies. Just all lies. Huh. What was I gonna say? Fucking hell, I lost my train of thought. So yeah, Batman, the Brave and the Bold trade paperbacks are out of order and not following the series issues at all. And DC is and even in Volume 2, they don't even give you things in order either. Like, just give the other issues you didn't get. No, we're gonna reprint issues 1 and 2 and 9 in there to really fuck you. It's like, okay. You're trash, DC. All right, let's go. I am I'm a black man in America. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm joking. So just to let you guys know, on the show, because if you just are tuning in right now, because I'm entertaining you guys, as I'm a quality content maker and I'm an entertainer at heart, we will be... Oh, shit, couldn't say that with a straight face. In all seriousness, if you guys are just tuning in right now or watching the show on the replay, we will be covering comic book news on this show. We do every Sunday, more and more frequently, because there is news that drops, and I do feel like since we do like comic books, we should talk about it, obviously. And if we don't talk about certain news on here, I will try to do just dedicated news videos on said segments. And I wanted to kick off tonight with Jim Lee, because obviously he drew art on one of my favorite Batman stories of all time. I love Batman Hush. Obviously is one of my favorite comic stories of all time, and we're going to get into it right now. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live in your mom's ass. Okay. Sorry, I'm black. I was joking with you guys. Oh my god! Wow! Okay, moving forward, maybe after this show, I gotta do like the John Campea way, where you just go into it. I can't just go into it. I'll be so scatterbrained if I do that shit. All right, I'm kidding. I gotta stop entertaining you guys. I'm entertaining.
Jump into it.
I'm entertaining. I love taking it in the ass. Okay. WZ's gonna clip that, and I'm going to jail.
Pulling out MSK's W's, I'm pretty sure.
I need to just like the way the Sasha sisters look at. No, the way the Sasha sisters love Deadpool and Wolverine. I need women to love me like that. If women love me like that, I'm just being honest. I would have sex with them a lot. But hypothetically speaking, it's all just jokes. Okay, I'm going in there. I'm going deep in, boys. Oh, did you see that EVS Dominatrix image I sent you? Where he was in the BDS outfit?
Bruh.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about Jim Lee returning to Batman. So for those of you guys who don't know, Jim Lee has been busy running DC Comics. And the reason why I say that in quotations is because basically, I'm going to say the quiet part out loud. He does nothing for DC Comics. Like, he literally does nothing. And I would like for someone to tell me something he's done that has actually improved DC Comics when he's been the chief editor for DC Comics, actually. And the key thing you'll find out that most people are going to say is this word, nothing. So Batman as a comic book series has been running with this specific run that started in 2019. Oh my God, my booty hole got... I'm back and I'm ready for content.
How can you make money with such a stupid idea?
I'm partner number one, and you're partner number two. That's the deal, right?
You ready?
So, cowboy butt sex.
Wrong movie, but there you go.
God. I really don't. You have been depressed. Okay, all right, okay, third time. Okay, I'm gonna stop entertaining you guys.
Do it.
Okay, I'm really being honest here. I will do it. I'm sorry, guys. I have to entertain the people. People are like, you gotta be entertaining. Well, you know, sometimes we gotta fuck shit up for you guys. Okay,
are you ready to be entertained?
You ready to be entertained? Are you not entertained? Is that a gladiator? Damn, so off rhythm. All right. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about Jim Lee returning to draw an ongoing Batman comic series, actually. Or is it going to be him basically taking over for my mom's ass getting gaped? Okay. How many more times can I bait the audience? I'm kidding, guys. Okay.
Man, people smoke crack and you shouldn't do that.
I'm just saying, if you guys see this segment on the comic book channel, it's because I got all the takes. I'm just saying, if you guys see this segment on the comic book channel, you would have not seen me mess up this many times live. But this is all for the people.
Thanks.
I'm here for the fans. Actually,
Mommy.
Okay, that guy needs to be in prison, honestly. Okay, gotta get to the news. Can't stay up that long tonight. All right. Woosah.
Bruh.
All right. Hey everyone, I'm MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about Jim Lee to Batman ongoing comic series in 2025. So there is a bit to talk about here when we're going over Jim Lee. So Jim Lee is currently the editor-in-chief at DC Comics, actually, and he has done nothing, honestly. You know, I'm pretty sure that's just the most, like, what's that thing people say, an unspoken rule you talk about? Oh my goodness, I'm black.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
Okay, Oh my god, I'm just trash tonight. Oh my goodness. Don't
You
worry.
what?
China.
I suck so bad, guys. I'm sorry. We've basically just been entertaining you guys for the past like 5 minutes of me just messing up my YouTube video intros. Okay, I'm doing it here. All right, one, two, three. Hey everyone, I'm MS fucking woo. Didn't do that one. Almost got tricked there. Don't do that. All right, 1, 2, 3. Hey everyone, I'm MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about Jim Lee returning to a Batman ongoing comic book series coming up in 2025. So there is a lot that you guys should know before we actually go over the information about Jim Lee returning to a Batman ongoing comic book series coming up in 2025. So Jim Lee is renowned as one of the best comic book artists of all time, actually. I really do love his art, honestly. He did work on one of my favorite comic books of all time, Batman Hush. And if you ask me, what is my top 5 favorite Batman comic books? Batman Hush would be right up there in the top 5. I love that series so much, and that animated movie they made should just be put in the fucking dumpster. But nevertheless, Jim Lee currently right now is the editor-in-chief at DC Comics, and he is honestly currently doing nothing at all. Like, if you ask anybody about what Jim Lee actually does for DC Comics, you are going to get as much influence as my dad had in my life. Nothing. Zero. He does nothing for DC. Literally nothing. Now, is he part of the editorial staff to get some ideas? That is about the only thing I could give him. He might just throw a random idea out there every once in a while. But literally, he does nothing. like earlier this year, it was rumored he was going to actually go back to Marvel and do their initiative for their X-Men relaunch after they finished the Krakoa era, which was the initiative of from the ashes in the beginning, or as I like to say, from the asshole, a new butt plug, because, it's just them spewing shit out of their ass, right? So he didn't take that offer from Marvel to come back, and he's still going to be with DC. And then we get this information that Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb are going to be returning to a Batman ongoing series. So as you guys know, Batman is DC's biggest cash cow currently right now.
Oh, yeah.
So just to break this down for you guys in context, there's this thing called Detective Comics, which is where Batman first made his first appearance in issue number 37 or 17. Doesn't matter. He first appears in Detective Comics, actually. Okay, so that series is now currently all 1,000+ issues. Like with Superman, he has Action Comics, right? Then DC, later on in their comic book history, split that from Superman and Batman. So you have Action Comics, and then you have Superman. And then they constantly reboot the Superman and Batman title. So this one for Batman, which is just Batman, has ran since 2016, which started with Tom King. This one currently right now, Chip Zdarsky has been running it for a while, and it's currently at issue 154 coming up, and I think by the end of this year it'll end off at 155, 56, somewhere around there, right? And Chip Zdarsky's run on Batman, I haven't read everything. I've just kind of seen things here and there. I don't really talk about something unless I've actually read it. He currently did that event called Gotham War, and I've read a little bit about it, and it's pretty bad, actually. So, as you guys know, Batman should be the best-selling comic on the market, bar none. Chip Zdarsky has essentially made the recent Batman run non-existent. And nobody even really reads Detective Comics either, which is currently being written by Ram V, right? So that's the thing here, is that we got to 150 issues with with basically Tom King and a few other people getting this run all the way up there. And 150 issues is not bad in this current comic landscape, but who do you talk to where they're like, you know what, bro, I'm really looking forward to that new Batman issue? Nobody. The only thing people look forward to recently with Batman is Absolute Batman, and that's in an alternate universe, which is done by Scott Snyder, actually. That's not the main continuity Batman. So yeah, the thing that to really bring up here with Jim Lee, because the reason why I had to tie that into this, because guys, Jim Lee, as much as I love that guy, he's got some Ethan Van Sciver traits where he kind of takes his little sweet time doing stuff. He's got this issue he's had this issue for a very long time where he kind of gets laid and he gets basically if he gets bored of something, he'll just take his sweet time on it and he just won't really give a fuck anymore. But the art will still be good, right? But that's the thing, guys. That's unacceptable, even for someone like him, right? So if they're bringing back Jim Lee, you better make sure he is dedicated to this current. Are you going to basically reboot from issue 156? Or are you just going to go and cash in on a new Batman #1? Because what you could do, you make a Batman #1, Jim Lee variant, sell a bunch of #1s, comic book sells out, right? But the thing here with me personally is that if you've been someone that's invested into these comic book runs from like issue 1 all the way up to 150, the same thing they did with the Flash early this year when they rebooted, right? You know, if the Flash was like 800 issues from Rebirth up until Dawn of DC, they rebooted it back to a #1. And it's like, well, people get that much invested into an ongoing series where they're going to reboot it from 100 issues back to 1. Either way, I don't like it. I would just say if you want to get the bump in sales, do the #1. But if you want to keep some, I don't know, integrity with your customers that have been maybe following this series since 2016, not myself, I bought them in trade, but you guys see my point there. You keep the 150 there because it's hard to get comic books guys up to these big numbers like that. Even for someone like Batman, 155 to 156, that's a lot of issues right there. So is Jim Lee dedicated right now to do this? I don't know, honestly, because he's not dedicated to run DC. He ain't doing
dude, he's never. This is the thing about Jim Lee, though, dude. He's never been dedicated to shit except for early in his career where he made a name for himself.
He was really dedicated to Image when he went over there with those guys, remember?
Well, he wasn't really dedicated to them at all. He didn't turn shit in on time ever. Any of the books he was ever associated with. Gen 13, constantly late, and so frustrating was it for his co-creator, J. Scott Campbell. The guy dropped off the book altogether and went off and did something without Jim Lee called Danger Girl for Cliffhanger. But Cliffhanger suffered the same fate of the vast majority, short of, I think, Savage Dragon, I think, is still around,
going.
Kind of.
That's, yeah, that I think
of.
Last time I checked, I could be wrong. That's at like the 280s, right
but no,
now.
And no, you've got like, 10 people that read it because nobody ever talks about Savage Dragon. Nobody knows what it is.
Yeah.
But you've got Spawn still around with multiple books, and that's the only thing that really kept Image alive. I don't know how their format still works because it's all very niche shit. Top Cow being an imprint under Image is one of the things that helped Image a lot. And the Wildstorm universe that Jim Lee was trying to build inside of Image, it never worked out. He was labeled as co-creator on a bunch of shit that really never worked without the people that left him on it. And then he did his own book, Divine Right, which wasn't bad, but it was late as fuck. Like late.
But that's
so
consistently
late.
with him, though. Like, literally.
That's him constantly. He couldn't even keep Wildstorm alive. He sold it to DC. I mean, that's why. The real reason that he is there is because DC sunk a fuck ton of money into buying Wildstorm from basically Jim Lee, brought Jim Lee over, and realized that it really probably wasn't just Jim Lee building all of these things, because all the stuff in Wildstorm was co-created with somebody else. But it was more artists. It was a bunch of artists who these guys are pre-Ethan Van Sciver, I'm going to say. Ethan Van Sciver was very indie when these guys were hitting their stride. He was making shitty Cyberfrog comics on fucking barroom napkins and shit and trying to sell them at Harris Comics where he had to blow somebody or something.
That's thing I want to add to your point, which is like, I like Jim. I really do like his art, guys. I think he's great. Even today, he's made some art pieces that I think are still really, really good, even stuff back in his prime. But it is if we're gonna rag on Ethan for being late, he's had this problem forever, honestly. But the only reason why he doesn't get it as bad is because he doesn't do anything that involves like drama or anything. He's mostly a quiet guy. Like, he's mostly like a guy that just reverts to himself. He answers things very politely. He's apparently a very, very nice guy. You know that back when the Snyderverse was destroyed and that Snyder fan asked him at Comic-Con, is Zack Snyder stuff going to be continuing? He very politely answered, we're not going to continue with that universe anymore. He's a very polite guy. You can tell he's not putting that on for show, I think. Well, you know?
He's a very
he's Asian. Which is
older
like
Asian guy. It's just the way he is. But I don't think there's anything wrong with him on in that sense. But the work ethic and the keeping up on things, because when it comes to being an artist, like he got through Hush and he did good on that. But there's no way he could have kept up it on.
Even that, if you look at the history, that even those were late. Remember, those were late.
Yeah, some of those
too.
were late. But that's the thing. None of them are. Think about this, dude. Your high quality, high caliber artists, and I'll still count Ethan as one of those. Your people who are pumping out this really great graphic art. Most of them could never be consistent enough at it to keep their careers up and going. Even my favorite guy, Joe Madrea, he didn't even draw the ending to his book here 20 literal fucking years later when he finished it. But none of them. The only person who ever went to Image Comics and successfully continued to produce art consistently, good art too, was Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane might very well be the GOAT of comic book artists, period. Any publisher, Marvel or DC, would both give their left nut to get him to fucking give them a cover.
And the thing is, Todd is never coming back after that 90s bullshit they did to him.
He's done.
Never.
He doesn't have to do shit. The man's children don't have to do anything. And he's more interested in being a businessman. The other artist, actually, who came out of Image that was consistent and good, he was kind of Todd's protege, I almost think, was Greg Capullo, who did Spawn art for so very long while Todd was still writing it. Todd is also one of the few artists who actually managed to transition successfully into being a writer in writing Spawn. None of the rest of them can do it. None of the rest of them could really keep up a story that kept fans interested and people engaged with it. And Spawn has been ongoing for so long that it's got a solid fan base that keeps it alive. Spawn was so huge it kept Image alive because the rest of these people who couldn't keep up with their creations, like Jim Lee, that and when we get to talking about Rob Liefeld, the same thing. When you talk about like Youngblood and shit, Rob Liefeld, that book never did anything or went anywhere. I don't know how. That and most of the characters were derivative as fuck, and it was just like this Avengers extreme. Yeah, that was it. But
Scoop.
I was going to say one thing
Jeff
really
Loeb.
quick.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, dude, that thing be great. No, the reason that Batman, the current writer of Batman, is completely disinteresting is like many other creators before him. He's just ripping off a story that already existed. The War in Gotham is old as fuck. Like, seriously, War Games was a long time ago. And a not bad story, actually. I picked all of it up in trade. I believe Spoiler died in this. You still got Oracle in this. Like, this is like outside of a major earthquake or no man's land kind of thing. This is your kind of classic modern era Batman story here, dude. It was really good. It was well done. Who was writing at the time in this? There's so many different books that got tied up into it.
Let's get into this scoop. Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb return to ongoing Batman comic in 2025. The Batman Hush team of Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb are returning to the ongoing Batman comic book from next year, March or April. Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb reunite for a new Batman ongoing comic starting March or April 2025. So this could also imply that they're going to do something completely different. So they're going to have another separate Batman series start with them over the 155 issue Batman ongoing series right now. Could be. Jim Lee's return adjusts the current Batman comic schedule, delaying upcoming issues. And keep in mind, DC already know that Jim Lee has basically fulfillment issues because other Batman books got pushed back and delayed because they know that they have to get at least like 6 issues in with this guy because they know he might eventually fall off if he doesn't care anymore about what he's doing. DC aims to avoid past delays by building up completed issues for a smooth release. That's good. So at least they acknowledge that Jim Lee might flake at some point, so they already have a back catalog of books to release so they can get someone new on the book just in case it happens. Speculation arises about a potential new Batman #1 with Lee and Loeb's comeback. I would say just for integrity purposes, just do a brand new Batman ongoing series with them because I think that would sell better than trying to basically cancel 155 plus issue Batman ongoing series that people invested their fucking money into just to reboot back to a #1 for some cheap sales. I would say do that. Earlier today, I mentioned that the current Batman comic book by Chip Zdarsky was meant to be released every 2 weeks. Then it wasn't. and it hasn't been pushed out to every month again. But what comes next? And why the change in schedules? Well, the headline of this article should have filled you in. The Batman Hush team of Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb are returning to the Batman ongoing comic book next year in March or April 2025. They were originally expected to return in November/December, hence the increased schedule for Chip's run to get it out of the door. Then schedules changed again. I understand that Jim Lee has been drawing comic books since the spring, and a number of issues have already been completed. But clearly, DC Comics would now like to get a few more under the belt so we don't get problems that have plagued Jim Lee's comics in the past, especially considering his duties as chief creative officer, publisher, and president of DC Comics. However, working on this comic is a major part of the reason that Jim Lee signed up with DC Comics for a considerable period rather than jumping ship to Marvel Comics for their X-Men relaunch. They just don't want to have they just don't want to have Ryan Benjamin take over with the third issue. Whether this gets a new Batman #1 or not, I don't know. My gut instinct says yes, but they went the other way 22 years ago. And yes, I know that some people will doubt this, but my sources are good, and I have been pretty good about this kind of thing in the past. Or, course, past performance is no indicator of future success, I know. Yes, and see, this is some of Jim Lee's artwork here. Obviously, this one right here is just iconic in of itself. This is one of the best Batman images made, in my opinion, ever. Looks so damn good. In 2002, Batman Hush by Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee ran in Batman number 608 to issue 619. And indeed, DC editorial would have preferred it if it had been a separate miniseries. But Jim Lee insisted that it would be the regular Batman comic, like Year One and Uncanny X-Men. And back then, DC Comics were less keen on a relaunch. Jim Lee said that he would make his first issue sell like a #1 instead. And it did. And has continued to sell like a #1 since. Yeah. Jim Lee is so good at art. You put his name on any variant cover, anything, it sells. It's just because he just has that name built in now at this point. What will they do this time? Batman issue number 158 or Batman 1? Maybe after he could get around to finishing All-Star Batman and Robin, The Boy Wonder, 1963 annual, or Pearl or the Deep, either or. Yeah, that's the thing is Jim Lee, from what I remember, Jim Lee never even finished All-Star Batman and Robin because that failed. That whole series
it just didn't do very well. I mean, and I think I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they came out and said that it was some conflict between Frank Miller just being frustrated with Jim Lee not getting shit turned in on time. But
yeah, so, man. What are your closing thoughts on Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb returning for a ongoing Batman comic in 2025? I'll ask you this: do you think they're going to do a #1 fresh or reboot the 158 issue they already got in?
I don't see a point to rebooting it because I can tell you right now, Jim Lee isn't going to stay on it. It's going to be maybe 12 issues you get, and he'll be out. Because here's the thing, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he gets paid a page rate for this shit or not. If he does, it's too fucking expensive for them to keep him doing that. But what else is he doing? He's real. I think he just collects a check from DC, or he collected a huge check from them when they bought Wildstorm. But tell me what Jim Lee in the last 20 years has done for more than a couple issues, really. I mean, maybe they get him to do cover art for a little while. I don't know. But
that's all he does still. Well, this is what I'll say. What they could do is that just do a #1. They already have enough. They said they have enough back catalog right now of issues. I imagine they probably have 7 issues done with him. Have him complete the story arc, make it feel like an actual arc, and then ask him after the 12th issue's done, whenever you get to that point, hey, are you really still feeling this? Because we could just end it right here and to just say this is a arc of whatever.
You don't need to start over again with that either. Just leave it.
I will say this right now. If you reboot, because I hate it when they did it with the Flash. The Flash had 800 issues in. If they reboot 158 issues just to sell a cheap gimmick of a #1, man, that is going to make a lot of people mad.
They deleted all of their continuity to sell cheap #1s.
I will say this: just start a fresh Batman #1 because, guys, DC this year currently has about 29 Batman series that they've ran. They're no stranger to a #1. Just before we even did this news in the show that you guys should watch on my channel, which is Master Swaggy, not the comics and manga channel where this segment's uploaded to. We just told you in the show there's a Batman DC Black Label book with Full Moon or something. They'll always do. Dude, we just Batman Year One with Mark Waid. Really? Batman Year One? What the fuck is that? They love Batman at DC. Always will do a #1 for him.
Well, it's because it sells. And I think the best thing that they could do, if they really wanted to keep it around, not have to fuck around, what they should do, what they really should do with this, depending on, I don't know, it doesn't have to depend on continuity. Bring back the Shadow of the Bat anthology series. Shadow of the Bat ran for, let's see, how long did Shadow of the Bat run? Shadow of the Bat produced some of the greatest Batman stories, and just because it was because he's got such a history, at least he used to before they fucked it up. Batman Shadow of the Bat. It ran a lot longer than 80. That's just 85 to 86. So let's see here. How long did that run? I'm trying to find first series. So yeah, there were multiple series, but basically what Shadow of the Bat was, it was in continuity, but out of different periods of Batman's life. So you might have something very early in his career, something maybe contemporary and current. Like if they had crossovers or if they had a big arc, sometimes they'd do Shadow of the Bat stories that were current, but then maybe they'd go back 10 years ago to when he was still with Dick Grayson, Robin, or something else. They would jump around his timeline and tell these stories.
They just showed you that right now. Remember the whole Batman and Robin Year One thing? They're just constantly jumping around. Yeah.
But see, that's what the book did. It went around in the timeline and it told you short stories that went on during Batman's career, because he'd been around for so fucking long that you could just tell stories inside of the time, because there's time jumps and different perceptions of the way time has passed in Gotham and everything else. But really it was just to tell good Batman stories without the trappings of the current 2 books, but they were still in context. It was a really creative idea. It would be, a 2-issue arc, a 3-issue arc, a single standalone issue, didn't matter. And that would be interesting, and it would give them a lot of room to let Jim Lee do something and then walk away from it and maybe have a filler issue, because that's the other thing they would do. Sometimes they'd have great artists and great writers, and sometimes they would just have some dude thrown in a filler issue. It would happen that way.
That's my biggest worry right now with him coming back, is is he dedicated to whatever Batman ongoing series is it going to be, and does he want to be in that series for the long haul, to the point where he's turning in consistent issues? Because the fact that they even had to know that he wouldn't probably do that, so they had to get 6 issues in already, potentially, or 7, that means they know he's easily going to be dropping out. If the sales numbers aren't there, he's dropping out of the series. That's why I say just do it for 12 issues, do 1 arc, 1 off with him and Jeff Loeb. They're reunited and it feels so good. Just do that 1 arc, good, and we leave it. That's it. No more. That's it.
Yeah,
what else
I think that's fine. Get an arc out, do a good classic story, and sell trades. That's fine.
That's it. Do it basically do what they wanted to do for Batman Hush, but just do it like this. 12 issues, have it be a full completed story arc with a beginning, middle, end, and you sell the trades for years and years. Because, Jim Lee's art is great, and I do believe Jeff Loeb can tell a good story, No,
Jeff Loeb has great stories. Yeah. This is the sad thing about a lot of the Image guys like Jim Lee, is that they peaked and they were legends. Basically, when they started, and that first couple years of Image, when they did it and it didn't completely fall out from under them, they peaked then. Maybe not financially, but as far as the comic book zeitgeist, their name carried them for so much longer. J. Scott Campbell's name and ability to draw hot chicks carried him for so much longer. Jim Lee's name and ability to sell off all of these creator-owned IPs to DC to die. They never did anything with them, and they never will. The Authority's gonna be a movie. Nobody fucking cares about The Authority. Let's please just forget that. Nobody cares
Dude, DC fans always
about
do
rip
that.
off Superman and Batman. No one
Yeah,
cares.
the DC fans will always do that. They're like, I care about this random group of characters I never once heard of in my entire life, and then in the box office numbers, it shows they didn't care either. Why can't you
Bro, not even in that.
Oh, you know,
Tell me-
I didn't watch the movie because like my wife was sleeping with my brother, and I caught them in the act, and I saw his cock in her ass. It's like,
What happened
just
to
say you
Gen
didn't care.
13? Dude, Gen 13 was huge, and it made it 20 issues before everybody stopped giving a fuck because J. Scott Campbell left, and the big tits and the sexuality of the redheaded chick just fell away. And they tried to keep it up, but it kept failing because they never put the artists, the people who created, didn't care enough about their IP. They were too. This is the thing about artists. Artists do this. I'm going to move off to the next thing. I'm going to move off. Look at EVS. Is he going to finish his book? Who the fuck knows? He could get a new story in his head tomorrow and be off focusing on that. Tell me how good that stupid that dead guy book of his. He paid somebody else to basically write for him because he just didn't be like, dude. It's your story and everything else. If you can't really bring it forward and you can't own it and you can't sit there and develop it, then why do you think anybody else is going to care? Because you managed to get 20 issues of it in, or 2 issues of Cyberfrog, in Cyberfrog's case. Do you think that any artists are going to care about your next story? And why should your fans care? All they constantly did was abandon things. And this is how I know that Jim Lee will not do this. He peaked decades ago.
Yeah.
As far as being a comic book artist, he came back for a blip in Hush, and then he did just that.
Yeah,
nothing. So like, dude, he comes
yeah.
back to Batman. I hope so. I think it'll be good.
Yes.
I don't know. I might pick up the trade, but does it save
I'll buy
DC?
issue
I
1.
don't think so.
I don't think there's no reason not to buy issue 1 to see what he's doing with Jeff Lowe, but that's the problem here, guys, is Jim Lee, I just don't trust he will be consistently
he's done
enjoying what he's doing unless the sales are there. Unless the sales are there, I do feel like he's gonna end up falling off of it, and they're gonna end up having some problems with him. But that's just my prediction. Maybe he's all in now, just like DC's new initiative. They're all in to try to save DC Comics. So just want to let you guys know this. So when you see segments like this on the Master Swag King Comics and Manga channel, the segments were clipped out of my MSK show that I do on my main channel, which is just called Master Swag King. So if you want to see the full show live, go and subscribe to my main YouTube channel. But if you just come here for the comic book news clips, like we're going to be doing starting with this one, then subscribe. We're going to start pumping out more news content for you guys. And if Professor Savage Dad's not here, like he's not there when I do my solo comic book reviews, then I'll just do the news by myself, you know. So make sure you guys go check out Savage Dad's YouTube channel and Rumble channel. I'll leave a link in the description box below. Thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are a returning viewer, new viewer, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And thank you guys, and we'll see you later. I'm Master Swag King. We're signing out, guys. Peace. Deuces. All right. The next one, and then we'll be done for the night, actually. Well, we'll just use the Rob Liefeld one for next week. We'll just stretch it out like my wife's pussy. Give me one moment. Oh my god. So many ads. I hate ads. All right. Here's the next one. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Or maybe if we have enough time, we'll do it. Because this one won't be as long as the other one. Because there's a lot to explain with Jim Lee there. That's why that one needed context to it. Holy shit, there's a lot there. All right. Hey everyone, I'm MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about a new Deadpool and Wolverine comic book ongoing series coming out in 2025. So if you guys actually were subscribed to my main YouTube channel, Master Swag King, which you should, me and Professor Savage Dad actually reviewed the 3-part miniseries Deadpool and Wolverine WW3, which was basically misleading as a title because people initially thought it was going to be Deadpool and Wolverine World War III, but it ended up just being WW3, short for Wade Wilson III. So in 2024, Deadpool and Wolverine as a movie came out. It was the third sequel to the Deadpool film series starring Ryan Reynolds. And then this time around, he brought in Hugh Jackman to return to play Wolverine. So this is my biggest problem with stuff like this, okay? And people ask, why would you be angry about this announcement? I'm actually not. I actually like the announcement. I am going to buy the book, actually, or the ongoing issues when they drop. And maybe we'll review them, and maybe these will be better than Joe Kelly's 3-part miniseries. And hey, Adam Kubert's art saved that run for me. It completely did, because Adam Kubert's art is absolutely amazing. So my thing here is, why is this not capitalized on the year the movie comes out? By the time this drops, Deadpool and Wolverine is at home, right? It's digital. It's already on digital now and home video, right? Why are we getting a Deadpool and Wolverine ongoing series next year when the movie's released this year? Why not just do the ongoing series now to capitalize on the movie? Now, to be fair, I will be completely fair here. Movie and comic book synergy never's been a thing, ever. Even with movie tie-in comics, never is a thing. But to me, it's just so stupid not to capitalize on a Deadpool and Wolverine ongoing series in 2024 when the movie drops. That's just my thing. I don't hate that this is going to be a thing. It's a good thing. I like it. It's going to do well for them. Even Deadpool and Wolverine, WW3, it was still like a top 10 seller despite it being pretty bad book, honestly. You know, people just like these characters together. So here we go with the first image they also released of it as well. Marvel to launch a new Deadpool and Wolverine ongoing series in 2025. Marvel is to launch a new ongoing Deadpool and Wolverine series in January 2025 from Benjamin Percy and Joshua Cassara. Marvel launches Deadpool and Wolverine series in January 2025 by Benjamin Percy and Joshua Cassara. Series follows success of Deadpool and Wolverine movie and miniseries. That wasn't really success for WW3. I mean, it was a top 10 seller, but I call bullshit on that. Exploring their shared history, Percy and Cassara reteam for action-packed 80s-inspired adventure with thrilling, bromantic dynamics. Expect non-stop thrills and a major reveal connecting past and future in the epic first issue. So what do you think, man? Just of the news in general, this. You excited? Nah, met on it?
I don't know, dude. The miniseries didn't leave a great taste in my mouth because that villain was so shitty.
God,
it was so boring.
It could have been so much better too. The concept was there. They
should have just used fucking Sabretooth or T-Ray. Like, give me some of the real give me some of their real villains. Not this whatever the fuck that guy was. It was a terrible
that's the thing.
Group of villains.
Deadpool and Wolverine WW3 needed to be more fleshed out. As everyone knows from our reviews, it needed to at least be at the minimum 5 issues, honestly.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's 3 issues, you know?
Yeah.
And then now they want to do an ongoing series. It's like, you guys just fucking with me? We're just getting bent over and fucked repeatedly. Why not just do the good idea then? Why are we doing the good idea next year when the movie's expired? I don't get it.
Because they couldn't, in all honesty, if that movie had not done as well as it did, this book doesn't exist. They made this book, they got people together. As soon as that movie at least made all of its money back at the box office, which is different for Disney Marvel. So they're like, oh shit, we made all of our money back. Well, fuck. Let's launch a comic book to tie in now. It's not too late, right? Fuck it.
And I will say this as well. I am going to be releasing our Deadpool and Wolverine WW3 reviews, obviously. The trade's out right now. And on mycomicshop.com, they usually did discount the trades depending on how good they are for MSRP. MSRP, the trade would sell for like $16.99. Do you guys know how much they're selling it for? They put it for $10. Now, I will say this. Yep. It might read better as a trade because you're getting it all at once. There's some story arcs in comics like that one that I would think would flow better if you're reading them as a trade. That series as an ongoing was just a slog to get through, honestly. And even when you got to the final issue, it was just kind of like a letdown, honestly. You know?
Yeah.
Well, maybe also if you didn't get it in the the floppies when it dropped and you read it as a trade and you like it, sure. And to be fair, it's all subjective. If you like it as a trade, that's fine. It's probably better.
Yeah.
It's probably a better of a series read that way. But I'm just so tired of that. Just release the trade then. If it's reads better trade, just do the trade. You don't have to release everything as a floppy, but that's a discussion for another day. Marvel is to launch a new ongoing Deadpool and Wolverine series in January 2025 from Benjamin Percy and Joshua Cassara to follow up on the Deadpool and Wolverine movie that did so well for Marvel Comics this year. But that has no synergy, though. Deadpool and Wolverine doing good in a movie has no bearing on a comic book. Guys, I promise you it does not.
It's all about whether or not the writer can pull it off, dude. And this isn't Ryan Reynolds, so who cares?
And this isn't following up on Deadpool and Wolverine the movie, because we have it right here. And also following up on the miniseries Deadpool and Wolverine WW3.
No.
And the backup strips, Weapon Extraction, Deadpool and Wolverine #1 will see a returning X-Men villain with new revelations about their shared history. And this is the promotional image for issue 1. That looks amazing.
If you're going to do, maybe that's a great cover. If you're going to do Sabretooth as the villain, give me a good villain. Don't when they say that they're following up on that, I really hope that they're not following up on World War II. He was terrible. He was the stupid ripoff of multiple other villains. I'd never heard of him before. I don't know if he ever existed. It didn't seem like he did. Nobody knew what he was and what he was doing. And frankly, we read all 3 issues. I still don't know what
and I will say this here. The concepts were there. They had a good idea of what they kind of wanted to do, but the execution was just so awful. So maybe in this ongoing series, we'll see a better explanation of what they were trying to do. But then again,
I don't think they're
wishful thinking.
I don't think they knew, dude. That's the thing. That villain was like this ripoff of Arcade, kind of.
He was a ripoff of what's that book you read in school where no, it's the Dangerous Game. It's a ripoff of that, basically. Josh and I really hit it off when we were working together on X-Force and became great friends, Percy told IGN. When he made the jump to X-Men, it was honestly a little traumatic for us both, but if you get the opportunity to draw a flagship title, you have to go for it. And he drew the living shit out of that series. We never stopped texting or hanging out at cons. We're always trading stupid jokes and many hundreds of Arnold Schwarzenegger GIFs. I even helped his wife locate one of the elusive 12-foot Home Depot skeletons recently. Okay. So we'll both be celebrating Halloween like bosses. This is all to say we were both so damn excited to get the band back together. Deadpool and Wolverine is us cartwheeling onto the stage and shredding our guitars once more while smoke machines churn and pyrotechnics explode all around us. Okay, I don't know. Okay, Josh, I get it. You're excited, but what the fuck did you what interview was that? That's a shit ass interview. In some ways, it simply feels like business as usual. Since 2017, Percy says, since 2017, with the Wolverine The Long Night podcast, I've never stopped writing Logan for Marvel, and this is simply the next chapter in his journey. But of course, things have changed for the mutants, and we're leaning into this new normal in the series. The film was both a hit and a hoot, but we started working on the series long before we ever saw Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds tear each other apart in a Honda Odyssey. Such bullshit. Guys, these books, guys, I'm just telling you right now, that's the reason why that's bullshit is because these books are pre-planned months in advance. By the time we hear the news of this happening, this has already been in the works for a while, honestly. Contracts written up, art already done, storyboard, editorial
what I'm
staff
saying
ideas.
Is that, and how long ago was it that Deadpool and Wolverine dropped and made a crap ton of money? The reason this book is coming out is because that movie made money, or they never would have announced. They never would have went forward with this.
That's why it was initially a 3-part miniseries as a test.
Yep.
That's why. So I can't say it was an influence, but I can say that the dynamic between the characters will feel familiar to theater goers. How are you going to get those theater goers to buy this comic book? Because those theater goers are casuals and they're probably not interested in comics. You'd be surprised how many people like getting them to read a comic is going to be pretty hard. You know, he said it right there. They want the theater goers to buy this. you better have a good story there for word of mouth on that issue 1. Issue 1 has to be a literal banger for that to work. Fun, thrilling, and both adversarial and bromancy, not to mention violent as hell. That was the vibe that Josh, I, and Mark Basso, our fearless editor, agreed upon. Non-stop thrills, insane action, set pieces, and a gonzo 80s action movie precedent, Percy says. We want you to feel like Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Van Damme could be a guest star in any of these issues. That's a big crazy reveal at the end of issue 1. So I'm not sure I should say just now, Percy teases, but both the future and the past are coming together in the present in a cataclysmic way. And it's up to our favorite superhero odd couple to save the day, and maybe the world. How you feeling about this? He seems pretty excited. I mean, I'm not going to take that away from him. I'll give him a chance. I'll buy issue 1. We'll see where it goes.
Dude, yeah, I'd wait to see. I'll wait to see who the villain is. Because that villain, again, was terrible.
Are we following up that
like,
villain? Oh no.
That's what I'm saying. No. I hope that's not what they're following up. If that's who they're following up, nope, I don't care. Don't give a shit. The villain's motivations were shit. Yeah. Motivations were shit. Power set was an agglomeration of whatever worked for the plot at the time to move it along. And yeah, dude, it was just terrible. The girl with the teleporting bite thing, like no thanks. I'm sorry. Just and that's the problem. One of the bigger problems with that book is that the villains were so just uncompelling. Not to mention also for half of the series, you don't really even get Deadpool in it. In fact, most of the series, it was like Wolverine featuring Deadpool to show up every few panels and be like, yeah.
Like, and then we just got confirmation. We just got confirmation right now that this new Deadpool and Wolverine ongoing series is following up Deadpool Wolverine WW3. So the big problem with that right here, I'll lay out some of my initial thoughts, right? So, and you guys will hear our thoughts when I release those reviews, right? Villain is bad. I will say these things were a slog to get through because it was mostly just Joe Kelly. I guess he just liked Wolverine more. Deadpool was really just oddly not Deadpool in that series because for me, I know that's the Merc with the Mouth, the guy that makes a lot of jokes. He was depressed constantly. He wanted to up his cancer for some stupid reason that I forgot. Deadpool was just so trash in that series, right? And I will say the action was good. The action was good.
Yeah.
There was some scenes here and there that were really, really well done. But then when you have the final reveal in issue 3, and it's like, well, this was all a simulation. And I was just trying to get Wolverine to go into his berserk mode because I was really trying to unveil who he really was, the man that's truly behind the suit. And it's like, well, I haven't seen that fucking as a concept ever in anything comic book related, you know? So like, I'll say this right now. It's better if you probably just buy that trade, see if you like it. To be fair, it's probably discounted anyway. It says $10.99 online, but let's be honest here, your comic shop will probably get rid of it for like $7, honestly. And to be fair, like I mentioned earlier in the video, it might read better as a trade. I will give it that. But the villain wasn't good. The story was uncompelling. Deadpool just gets like the shaft for no reason. And it's really just super confusing about like what the villain was trying to do versus what he was actually going to attempt to do as the series goes on. Like it's just super, it was jumbled and the execution was just poorly handled, honestly. But hey, it's not Joe Kelly writing it this time, so maybe it'll be good. I don't know. But yeah, man, what are your closing thoughts on this, honestly?
I don't know. I'll probably wait and see what you have to say about it. Like if they are following up with this just crap villain, I'm already out. Like, no thanks. I don't care. I might get interested in the trade if it's good. So, like, if you pick up the first issue and you're like, oh wow, no, actually, it wasn't that villain. It's something else entirely, and they're not even talking about Wade growing off of Logan and blood regeneration and like that was actually some of the more interesting things they did with it. With the rest of the whole,
but that's been in all the
so bad,
dude. Even and I liked Wolverine #1 Deep Cut by Chris Claremont. I did, but this obsession with Wolverine's healing factor recently has been so cringe. Okay, we get it. He can heal from anything. I get it. Could we do something else, please? It's happened in Wolverine Revenge. It's happened in Wolverine Deep Cut. It's happened in Deadpool and Wolverine. Can I read a Wolverine comic book where it doesn't focus on its fucking healing factor constantly? All the villains are always like, man, you can really just regenerate from anything. Yes, thank you for telling me for the 10,000th time. Fuck. Can we do anything different with these characters at this point? It's like that guy that'll come up to you and be like, that useless stat of like, did you know that the sky is really not blue? It's like, oh, yes, fuck, dude. Shut up. It's just stupid. So
that guy sounds high.
So, yes, if you guys actually enjoyed this video segment, you can watch this show live on my main YouTube channel, Master Swag King, because I'm going to be releasing comic book news segments like this to my Master Swag King and comics and manga channel. Whenever me and Professor Savage Dad do these shows, primarily they're on Sundays, but that might change moving forward. Kind of playing it by ear until that potentially might happen. So, like I mentioned before, in the other one you're going to see, and I'm not going to mention this in any more of these because it would already be mentioned in the first video. If I can do the news by myself, I will. But if it's news that he can chime in on, we'll do it together. Honestly, that way it's flexible. That way you guys aren't waiting for content. So that way you get comic book reviews like we do, get them by myself, or you can get them, in different formats, because consistent content is key to growing a YouTube channel, actually. So thank you guys for checking out this video. If you're a returning viewer or new viewer, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. I'm MSK, aka Master Swag King. Signing out, guys. See you guys later. Deuces. Peace. Wow. All right. We got two of them.
There it is.
We could do the Rob Liefeld one next week and another one that'll be on there. Oh, there's something there. I'll have 2 bangers next week. So yeah, probably just keep it like 2 segments generally, That way you don't
that'll work.
Burn and kill ourselves out. But yeah, let me go on my notes and knock those off. So there's a few ones that you guys know that I'll do by myself because you wouldn't know what those are, honestly. But yeah, next week we're going to do the Rob Liefeld one for Youngblood, and there's a juicy one in there that I'll do. I can't wait to be really racist on that one.
Is it with EVS?
Oh!
That one always has a place on my soundboard. Did you find it?
No.
Science.
Okay, this is why Marvel Comics is stupid. You know what? Next week for a segment, we will do that Batman the Brave and the Bold trade paperback bullshit. That's just such bullshit. Even if you don't know the
I
series,
just don't understand the way the story is being told.
It's so stupid. People go to the trades to get things in order. If you're not getting a trade in order, then what are you getting it for then?
Yeah, I don't
that's being
understand
serious. If you don't get the trade in order, what is the purpose of a trade unless to get the story in order? Like you just bending me over and fucking me twice or something. Holy shit, man.
Basically, yes.
Huh. Okay. You got anything planned coming up? You want to let the audience know about?
Nothing right now. Rogues Gallery, I think, will be back on Friday.
Yeah.
And I might have a Wrong Think with Devil on Tuesday. So that's pretty much kind of it. Things have progressed, I've got all of my personal life stuff settled, mostly. So it's going to be getting back into content creation, but I'm going to be looking to get everything set up in Rumble. So you'll know I'm back when you see, in my stuff anyways, when you see something drop over on Longboxing. I'll probably even do kind of a channel explanation. And I might put that on my main, since that's where I have everybody on Rumble. And yeah, so that's further down the road. So yeah, I have more comic book content coming out for you guys. If you're just here for that, I'm just going. This is the next stuff I'm gonna get. Here, I'll just pull out 2 of them right now.
It's a little much. I'm not gonna lie.
And my bullshit. X-Men, Ultraman X Avengers. I'm doing this one. and then I'm doing Wolverine Deep Cut issue number 2. That's what I want to do. So these are my next 2. So Savage Dad did say he'll start his comic book channel, so I'm keeping him to his word. You better start that, or I'm gonna come and put my whole fist up your
Sometime
ass.
in November, I'll get that stuff filmed. I don't have any more things in my way anymore.
Enough time for Transformers. Huh? Transformers Volume 2 drops in November. Remember? A couple days before Thanksgiving. Yeah. I can't wait to
issue 1
get back into that.
Reviewed.
God, issue 1 is so good. We know we reviewed it here.
Volume 1.
Yeah, Volume 1 was just.
Oh no, we did do it here. You're right. Yes, we did.
Volume 1 was too good, like fish good. So
it was very good. So it was Duke.
As you guys know, I'm currently working on clipping out and editing content we did on the Iron Man podcast and also this show too. Uploading the Cloud9 podcast to Rumble currently. I'm currently actually almost done with season 6, so I'm really moving forward with that. And I will start getting more episodes of the Iron Man podcast and Cloud9 podcast uploaded to podcasting platforms. That way I can start uploading episodes of this show. But that's pretty much it. We'll be back here for some more content tomorrow. More MSK show episodes coming up. I do have a plan to get this show much bigger like I did with the other one, but that is going to require a lot of time and effort, and I'm going to be pacing myself out this time around. But we'll get it back as big as we used to have the other show. So thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK show. We'll see you guys. Well, we'll see you guys later. Hope you guys had a great